What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, so look, there's some very interesting news. Actually, conflicting news. It's what's so funny. So good news and I'm not so sure news. Okay, but I want to show you something. I keep telling you guys, look at this. It's gonna hit 2,000 here really soon. Some people are procrastinating. They keep telling me, Pimpy, I'm waiting for the dip. I'm not so sure the dip is going to happen. I keep expecting it for it to happen, but it doesn't seem to. This is new record highs. While it's getting near the record high, these record highs, I should say, have been recently. So look at this. Gold at $2,000 an ounce. This is crazy, man. It's getting ready to take off. And I told you it was because of all of the uncertainty around the world. Don't forget, we have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. In here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. No political stuff. If you post it in here, I'm going to block you. Over here, post your political stuff. Over here, we talk about political stuff, current events, as well as things that some people consider a conspiracy, as well as NESARA, GESARA. Okay, a quick reminder, everybody, why it's going up. If you keep procrastinating, it's gonna keep going up, and it's gonna cost you in the long run. So it's better if you have it and you need to do it now. Go over to Money Metals. The link is in the description. And if you're a first-time buyer there, after you buy $100 or more worth of precious metals, put in their promotional code Pimpy, and you will get a free ½ ounce of silver. And right now, that's looking pretty good, if you ask me. The Ministry of Finance sent an invitation to the banks to resume their work after the holiday. So the funny thing about this article is the fact that the Ministry of Finance has sent out an invitation to the banks for them to go back to work. I just thought the article was funny. I was like, let me get this straight. So, they're probably at home going, yeah, I don't feel like going to work. And then they go, well, I guess I will. I got an invitation. You know what I mean? Or here's the sad part. What happens if you didn't get an invitation and all your other coworkers did? What does that mean? You're fired? Is that how they fire people? You're like, hey, Steve, how you doing? Did you get your invitation? What do you mean? You didn't get your invitation to go back to work? You got an invitation to go back to work? I just thought it was funny that they're inviting the bankers to go back to work. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's pretty funny. The International Alliance praises the sacrifice of the Peshmerga and sets a ceiling for its task in Iraq. All right, so they're doing really good over there. So the command of the International Coalition Forces revealed on Friday that the survival of its forces in Iraq is at the request of the Iraqi government. Now, when I read that, I had to read it several times. Just as much as they're inviting their employees back to work, over here, these coalition forces, look at this. It says that the survival of its forces in Iraq is at the request of the Iraqi government. Well, I hope their request is granted. You know what I mean? The fact that you have to put in the request to survive. I thought it was funny the way it was worded. Anyways, let's redo it. The command of the International Coalition Forces reveals on Friday that the survival of its forces in Iraq is at the request of the Iraqi government. Sorry, I just thought that was a little bit funny. While praising the sacrifice of the Peshmerga forces in the fight against ISIS, it stressed respect for the martyrs of Iraq. Now, I did read on Stars and Stripes, I think it was the day before yesterday, they had cornered a pretty big group of ISIS fighters. They had them cornered pretty good, and they took them out. And I think the guy was saying it's one of the biggest groups of ISIS fighters they ran into for a long time. But nonetheless, they were able to take care of them. So, if that was the biggest group, well, they're drastically reduced at this moment. So anyways, it looks like the United States continues to lend in advice and show support to the troops over there. And I told you Trump had told everybody he's pulling out the forces, our military over there, but he did send over a very specific strike force. And they have been working with a group of Iraqi military people, training them to have the same knowledge. And it's an advanced group of strike force people. Anyways, they have since turned over a lot of these missions to the Iraqi people to let them lead. And the coalition forces have been behind them, just making sure everything is going good. So it looks very, very good. It looks like they're doing great. That's the kind of stuff we want. We definitely want to see, again, can Iraq protect their own people? This is all going to be part of them getting back their sovereignty. All right, we talked about this. So what do we need to happen? We need Kurdistan to hammer out this deal with Iraq or Baghdad. I guess they're calling it. It's Iraq nonetheless. So that's the one thing. The agreement between them, have their issues hammered out. We'll have Al-Qadimi come over here to the United States and do what he needs to do to get recognized internationally once again and get their sovereignty restored. All right. So in here again, the article just talking about how good the Peshmerga forces, along with the Iraqi fighters, are doing in protecting the areas they need to. So here we go. Soon, a Kurdish delegation visits Baghdad to sign the comprehensive agreement and deliver oil imports. Yay! I told you it's going to get hammered out real quick. A government source familiar with on Friday revealed a forthcoming visit to Kurdish delegation by the Kurdish delegation to Baghdad to discuss the delivery of oil and border ports to the Kurdistan region through American and European mediation. All right, so the source in the interview, the delegation of the Kurdistan regional government is scheduled to visit Baghdad after the holiday in order to sign the comprehensive agreement. Baghdad and Erbil have ended all outstanding problems with regards to oil and border crossings, and there is agreement to deliver 250,000 barrels of oil and 50% of the revenue from border crossings. So good. This is what we need. Step one. Let's hope that it's not one of these articles that say one thing, but the opposite happens, because that happens from time to time. Anyways, the Americans and Europeans were over there mediating what was going on. It looks like whatever the disagreements were have been hammered out. So they should be here after the holiday to sign this agreement and get this over with. This is good. That's step one. That's what I was looking for. Another step is coming very soon. The Minister of Finance is going to implement automation in customs that should help with border crossings, making it very easy and simple for them to do that. We don't need to read the article. It's like 700 pages long. Just kidding. It's like 2 paragraphs. So we had 2 rockets fell within the approaches of Baghdad. Either they just have really terrible missiles, or they can't aim well, or they have no intentions on actually hitting anything. They're just doing it for show, because it seems to me like they continue to just fall short of the airport. As you know, a lot of the airport over there does house some of our military personnel, so they keep shooting missiles over there. But nonetheless, it just fell short, and everything seems to be peaches and cream. What does this say? This is part 2. An official in the Prime Minister's office reveals the fact that Al-Qadimi will go to Washington next week. Or will he? Dun, dun, dun. Here it is. This is so funny about the article, the way they worded it. And then it goes, an official from the Prime Minister's office of Al-Qadimi revealed the fact that the Prime Minister is heading to the United States of America next week. So you read that paragraph, you're like, yay, do the Pimpy dance. And then you get to the next paragraph. The official, who preferred not to be named, said in the interview, the information and news that spoke about Al-Qadimi's travel to the United States of America next week is inaccurate. So as of the time, no date has been fixed for this up-and-coming meeting. And of course, what they're going to use as an excuse, and they do in here, is the Rona. All right? The Rona is what they're using as an excuse. But Al-Qadimi had visited last week, a visit to Iran at the head of the high-level ministerial delegation, while his postponement, which was supposed to be his first visit to Saudi Arabia, was postponed after the health of the Saudi king. All right. So yeah, I was seeing this. I was like, oh, good. I like the way the headline looks. It's finally, they're going to get over here next week. Of course, I said, oh, that's probably why they've hammered out this agreement between Kurdistan and Baghdad. But then all of a sudden you come over here and you read this, you're like, what is it? Either he's coming or he's not. Okay, so we got conflicting news. We'll keep an eye on whether there is another story, and if so, I'll make sure to update you. But that's the news for now. So it's nice of the bankers to get invited back to work. And it looks like Kurdistan and Iraq have finally ironed out their differences and a comprehensive agreement that will be signed. and I'm looking for a visit to the United States by Al-Qadimi. Somebody did leave a comment, made some pretty good sense, or made a comment about the fact that Al-Qadimi has to first go meet the king over in Saudi Arabia before he could come here to the United States. I guess there's some type of agreement they need to have hammered out as well. So that's why Al-Qadimi was supposed to go there first, but unfortunately the king got sick. Okay, so we will monitor that. If that is true, we will see really soon. Good. So the first step has been taken. It is about to be taken. We're going to see this agreement signed, and we should be good to go. Let's take a look at gold one more time. It was at 1-1. It'll drop down just a little bit of a contraction. So good. It's still way up there. Look at this. Silver's at 24.33, being supported. 1969 for gold. Good. That's the kind of stuff we want to see for us precious metal holders. If you are interested, again, I want to encourage you guys to go to Money Metals. The link will be in the description. All right, you guys? All right, then that's it for now. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I'll catch you later.